I'll never forget the day I found out who I really was. It didn't happen in some grand moment. No party, no confetti. It was just an ordinary night. I was organizing old boxes in my room. Ever since I started dating Ryan, my life had already been flipped upside down in so many ways. But nothing compared to what was about to happen. I worked as a receptionist at a small dental clinic in a modest neighborhood in Chicago. I lived with my best friend, Lily, in a humble but cozy little house. We didn't have much, but it was ours, and I was proud of that. It was at that clinic where I met Ryan on what started as an ordinary day. He walked in with a broken tooth from a pickup soccer game and caught my eye right away. It wasn't just his looks. There was something about the way he spoke, the kindness in his voice. He didn't treat me like just the girl behind the counter. He made me feel seen. On his way out, he handed me a small slip of paper with his phone number. He said with a crooked smile, "If you feel like talking later, give me a call." And I did. I didn't know where it would lead, but something in my gut told me to take the chance. Our dates became more frequent. Simple things: ice cream after work, long walks, deep talks about dreams and losses. He told me about his mom, Margaret, a manager at a big cosmetics company. I told him about how I dreamed of becoming a nurse and how much I missed my parents. Ryan always listened with care, like everything I said mattered. But the problem was Margaret. From the very first moment we met, it was clear she didn't like me. She made a point of criticizing me, judging my clothes, my job, my background. Even at dinner, her questions were daggers and her tone dripped with condescension. Still, I stayed strong, for myself and for Ryan. I believed that someday she'd see who I really was. But even I didn't know who I really was, not until I found that folder. Inside an old box tucked between childhood drawings and letters, I found my name, but with a different last name, Walker. There was a second birth certificate, a will, and old letters. One name appeared over and over: Robert Walker, founder of the company where Ryan and his mom worked. My entire world stopped. I began piecing it all together. Robert was my biological father. He had left me part of the company, but I had been raised by another man, James, a kind, humble man who never said a word. Everything pointed to an informal adoption and an inheritance wrapped in secrecy and legal complexities. I found an old lawyer who had once worked for the Walker family. When I contacted him, he confirmed everything. I was the rightful heir to 50% of Walker Cosmetics, and the other half, it was held by the current partner, who happened to be Ryan's father. My boyfriend was unknowingly the heir to a company that I co-owned. I knew I had to tell him, so I did. Ryan was in shock, but he supported me. We agreed that I'd take on my share responsibly, calmly, quietly. He believed in me. His mother, on the other hand, never had. But fate didn't want to wait. I was called in for a meeting with Victor, my father's former business partner. He greeted me respectfully and offered a deal. I could take a seat on the board if I wished, and I said yes. I joined the company, started from the admin department to learn everything from the ground up, quietly, no announcements, no noise, until the day of the board meeting. Margaret walked in. She had no idea. When she saw me seated next to Victor, she nearly lost her balance. He said, "This is Emma Walker, daughter of Robert Walker, rightful heir to the company." The room fell silent. Margaret froze. I stood and said, "I'm here to take my place and help this company grow." She tried to belittle me, tried to fight it, but it was too late. The truth was out. Soon after, internal complaints about Margaret's behavior were reviewed. It turned out she had been abusing her authority for years. She was fired, officially dismissed. When she walked out that day, she looked at me with hatred and said, "You ruined my life." But the truth was, she ruined it herself. Ryan was hurt. But he understood. He stood by my side, stronger than ever. Today, I work closely with Victor, helping lead the company my father built. I'm learning every day. My life has changed in every way imaginable. But deep down, I'm still the same Emma, the one who always fought with dignity. And Margaret? She had to face a truth she never imagined. I wasn't trash. I was the legacy she tried to bury. Thank you so much for watching this story until the end. If it touched you in any way, don't forget to leave a like. It really helps more people find this kind of content. And if you enjoy life-inspired stories like this one, make sure to subscribe and follow the channel so you don't miss what's coming next. See you in the next video.